believe it's already January 2016. It really feels like 2015 flew by. I had so much going on. And one thing I'd like to do every year at the beginning of the year is think about what older games do I want to knock off my bucket list? What games do I really want to get into this year that I've been meaning to play for years and I've just never gotten around to it for one reason or another? And I started really thinking about the Legend of Zelda series. And I realized that the only two games in that entire series that I've ever played to completion were 1 and 2, back when the NES was my first console. And it's not something that was really a conscious decision. It's not that I had no interest in the series. It's just that I always had dozens, if later on not hundreds, of other games to play, and it just never made it high enough on my list. There was always a new Shin Megami Tensei, or Final Fantasy, or like a Grandia, or there's something along the line that took precedence over it, and I feel like this is a year where I really want to kind of dig into that series finally and play some more Legend of Zelda games. But I'm not really sure where to start.
Hey, listen!
You know, that's not a half bad idea. Since I have very limited Zelda knowledge, I thought I would go over to my Zelda expert's place here. This is my sister-in-law, Katie, and she has an extensive Zelda collection. She is a huge fan of the entire series. So I thought I'd start off by asking a little bit about what was the first Zelda game you ever played?
Oh geez, the first one. Well, I was really young, so it was either Wind Waker or Ocarina of Time.
Okay, Ocarina of Time. That's one that I actually have played a little bit of. I've never played the whole thing, but her sister, my wife's one of her favorite games of all time is Ocarina of All Time on the N64.
Oh really?
So yeah, it's one of her favorites.
I didn't know that.
It's one of her favorites. It's like a top 5. Yeah. Yeah, so that one I've had some experience with, and a lot of people. That was when I was in elementary school that came out, but I was too busy playing stuff like Final Fantasy 8, I guess would be at the time. So 7 moving into 8. So I didn't really get to experience much of that. And for someone who's never played a Zelda game, or someone like me who hasn't really played one to completion in over 20 years, what to you is the perfect kind of starter Zelda game? What one do you think is like a good introduction? To me, it feels like, from what I've played, I would say probably for me, Ocarina of Time or Wind Waker would be a good first one. But from someone who's played all of them,
I wouldn't say all of them.
Extensively. What do you think would be the best starter one?
Well, from experience, the first ones I played were Wind Waker and Ocarina of Time, so I felt like those were a good intro into those games.
Okay, yeah, because for me, they feel like they're kind of in the middle. They're not the real old ones, they're not the real new ones, and they're kind of like the classic feel from what I have experienced. Okay. Yeah. The one for me that I'm most interested in, though, is Twilight Princess. And what are your thoughts on that one? Because I know that's a huge difference from the style of Wind Waker going to that, and then Skyward Sword looks like a mix of the two to me, in between.
Yeah. Well, it's really interesting how Nintendo had it made for both GameCube and Wii. I've only played the Wii one, but from what I've heard, the GameCube one is reverse of how the Wii one is.
Right, because they had to change it for right-handed people. Kind of things, yeah. That's why I'm waiting to play it till I find the GameCube one, but the GameCube one is this hidden treasure that's impossible to find, versus the Wii one that's in every store everywhere. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so that's it.
I find it funny though, because I'm left-handed, and so every time they're yeah, we're making it for right-handed people. I'm but I'm left-handed.
That's why you feel an affinity with Link.
Yes.
So yes. She even has a Link cosplay and everything. And but anyway, I thought I'd have you show off a little bit of your Zelda collection here. Kind of get me into the Zelda mood here. Get me a little bit more affiliated with the franchise. Show off some of your Zelda stuff.
Okay. Well, it seems you've already taken liking to the shields.
Yes.
The Hylian shields.
Yes. Look at that thing.
Yes.
It's heavy. You could go into combat with this thing.
Yeah. It's funny because when I was bringing it down here, I was like, oh my god, this is so heavy.
And of course, you can't go into combat with just a shield. You also need an offensive weapon. So, yes, very nice.
Yes, the Master Sword.
Yes.
Yep.
It was gorgeous. And you have some less serious things. I see the cartoon there.
Yeah. I actually got this from my friend from Christmas, and it is a plushie of Link.
Oh, it's Toon Link.
Not Zelda. Link. People always make that mistake.
I did not personally make that mistake. Just so you know, just because I'm not a huge fan of the franchise, I'm not that stupid.
Really now?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah. Then I have a manga of one of the games. It seems they have like them for at least most of the games. This is the one for the Minish Cap. I have not played the Minish Cap, but from what I've seen, it's it follows the storyline of the actual game, but it gives Link more of a personality through giving through dialogue.
Okay. Is Minish Cap, is that on Game Boy Advance or is that DS? I forget which one is that.
Actually, it's on both, and
both?
I looked this up because I was confused. It was originally for the Game Boy, but then when the DS came out, they made it for that, but it's apparently really hard to get it.
Oh, okay.
So I have the what is this called? The DVD collection of Zelda, because believe it or not, it is a thing.
That to me feels more inspired by like the CDI games.
Yeah.
Excuse me, princess.
Yep. I always say that.
Yes.
But at least like in my head, when when people say things that I'm like, what are you doing? I'm just like, well, excuse me, princess. So, yeah. Alright. Then I have a few of the games here. I have a 4-sword adventure game. This is one of my favorite games because there's the 4 legs, and I always remember the time when my sister and Stefan gave me the manga version of it, and we were saying about how each of us was one of the Links. I remember you were the blue one.
Have to be the blue one. The
Yeah.
Sonic blue. Yes.
And then my sister is the purple one. I'm the red one, and then my brother's the green one.
Yes. You're red for the extreme inner rage.
Yes. Yes. I always have rage when I'm playing games. In fact, that happened 2 days ago when I was playing Luigi's Mansion. And I was trying to beat the boss, and then I kept dying, and then I just got angry and then walked away. I was done. And then one of my first games, Wind Waker. It's a really good game, and as I was saying before, it's a good starter game if you're just getting into it. The graphics are pretty cool, and it has a lot with music and stuff, so if you're a music lover like I am, that's pretty cool.
I actually really like that style. I mean, to me, I'm most attracted to Twilight Princess, I think. Probably, for me, Ocarina of Time, probably my first one I'll play, then Twilight Princess, but I love the cel-shaded style because I'm a big Level 5 fan, and they tend to use that a lot for a lot of their games, so I really like that art style, and I think it holds up really well. Sometimes games for older games, especially 3D games, sometimes when you look back on them, they haven't aged very well and they look kind of out of place, but I think that style, they still look good today.
Yeah. Okay. So the next one is a little special because it's a collector's edition. So there are 4 games and then a demo of Wind Waker on this. Including the 4 games are the first 2 Legend of Zelda games, Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. So you don't need the Nintendo 64 to play the games. So that was a help.
Yeah, that is a good collection. That's cool. That's hard to find.
Yeah.
I've looked for that.
I've got it from my brother.
Yes.
Yeah, so if you have older siblings, they can give you stuff.
Yes.
I always end up with stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nice hand-me-down gaming stuff.
I actually just got this for Christmas from my brother. It's a DS holder game thing. So for like your 3DS, you can like put it in here, and I've not unboxed it yet. So
That's pretty. Is it leather? It feels like.
Yeah.
It's nice. Yeah.
leather,
That's really
and
pretty.
It has the Zelda thing, and it has 2 styluses. That's the plural of that.
Styli.
Yeah, and one is of the Master Sword and one is of the Hylian Shield,
That's really cool.
which can be seen here. Yeah.
That's cool. I like that. Yeah, you use that to play your collection of DS games,
Yep.
all your Zelda ones.
Yep. I have 4 of my 3DS games here. I have the Ocarina of Time 3D one. I also have the Majora's Mask one, but I wasn't looking for it, so.
And they do a really good job with that. From what I've seen, it looks like they did a really good job not changing a lot, just kind of updating it, making it feel more recent without really changing too much of the old style.
Yeah, what I've heard though is they made it easier.
Okay.
Yeah, I've heard that. I didn't really notice a difference, but I've played them so much, I guess.
Yeah, so it's already easy for you, so you didn't really even notice
Yeah,
it.
and then I have the Legend of Zelda Phantom Hourglass, and I just realized you can't see it from back here. Yeah.
Quite alright.
Yeah. So this is actually supposed to be a sequel to Wind Waker, and I've actually not beaten it yet. Like I'll always get to like right before the boss, and I'll be like, no, I'm gonna wait, and then that waiting never ends.
Yeah, so then you start something else, and then,
Yeah. The cycle never ends. But yeah, it's a pretty good game. Then I have A Link Between Worlds. I've also not beaten it, but it was a pretty good game, so. Okay, I'm gonna be talking about the new Zelda thing that they just released, the Triforce Heroes. I personally don't like it in the aspect of it being a Zelda game, because it doesn't follow like the main like Zelda like stuff with like having like the Princess Zelda and like having like the story behind it. Like it's a good game like if you don't consider it as a Zelda game, but I just don't understand why the princess is not Zelda, and Zelda's not even in it.
So
And
it doesn't have like an authentic Zelda
Yeah.
feel to it. And I've heard that, because I know you play mostly single player, even with ones like that, I heard that it's kind of, like the Four Swords, I know you can play single player and still like it, but I've heard for this one it's very awkward if you're not playing like multiplayer,
Yeah.
like it just doesn't feel right.
yeah,
And it's really set up only for multiplayer in a lot of ways.
yeah. I mean, like I got the basic gist of how to play it, and I don't know, it just doesn't feel like a Zelda game. Like, I mean, I'm only speaking from like playing it only once, but like from what I did play of it, it just didn't seem like a Zelda, like an authentic Zelda game. Okay, so then I have this other book which has like all of the like Zelda like history behind it.
Is that like, is this tome like the official canon now? Is that considered like, as far as like linking all the games together? Yeah.
I guess. I
Linking
don't.
all the games, yeah.
Yeah, Link.
Because I know like the split in the timeline as far as like for Ocarina of Time, like going with the Majora's Mask or going to like the Wind Waker timeline and all that confusing junk. So out of the games you have not played in this series, because you are definitely younger and you probably have never played some of like the first couple. Like I know you have the collection 1 and 2. Have you ever played the one on the Super Nintendo? That a lot of people, that's their favorite. I don't think you have.
No, I don't think so.
So out of those and things like the CDI games, which are notoriously terrible, but they're kind of a quirky, interesting piece of Zelda history, out of the ones you haven't played, what is the one you think you would most like to play if you got a chance? So just out of curiosity, like ones that you would, they've never experienced.
Well, jeez, I don't know. Well, for a while I've been wanting to play Minish Cap because I've read the manga and I wanted to compare it to like the actual game.
Right.
So seeing that kind of interesting.
Okay. What would you say are your maybe like top 5 Zelda games?
Oh, top 5.
Yes.
Well, I could list like my favorite 5, but
What
not in like
yeah.
order.
No particular order. Yeah, catching you
Okay.
off guard here. What are your favorite 5 that you'd say are the ones you played?
Well, definitely Wind Waker, Skyward Sword, Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, and Four Swords.
Okay. That's interesting. A lot of people, because I was saying your sister, her favorite Zelda is Ocarina of Time, and she does not like Majora's Mask. So I was curious about, like, some people didn't seem to like that one in comparison because of the major changes with the time limit and,
Yeah.
But you did like that? You like that style and that difference?
I just like doing the side quests. Honestly, that's the main reason why I like the game. Because of all the side quests, and so most of the time I just end up doing the side quests instead of the actual game.
Yeah.
Because of the time limit.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So why is this series so special to you? I mean, I know for you, your own sort of like triforce of gaming systems is definitely like the DS, the GameCube, and the Wii. Like that's pretty much the whole your gaming world right there.
Yep.
And for some reason, like this seems to be the common link between all those three, where you always have Zelda games on every one of those systems, and otherwise you don't have loyalty to any one series. It seems like, but this one in particular is the one you stick with. And why is that? Why does that stand out to you more than other stuff you play?
Well, it has to do with a kind of silly reason, because when I was younger, since my siblings are so much older than me, I would always try to find ways to like spend time with them. And the way that I could spend time with my brother is for playing video games. So he would, during that time, it seemed like he would play Zelda games a lot. So I started playing Zelda games as well. And then I realized that I actually like really liked them, so I just continued playing the series.
Okay, and just kind of got you hooked. And,
Yeah.
That's usually, I think, that's the best connection, I think, to a game series, where he started with a personal reason and you just kind of continue with it.
Yeah.
I always like that. Well, thank you very much. I've learned a lot about this series and kind of have more of an idea now of what I want to get into and where I want to start. So thank you, Katie. And I'll see you guys around. This is my sister-in-law, Katie. Every once in a while she'll hop on here, just like my brother and other
like
people.
Like a bunny?
Yes, you'll hop like a bunny right on screen.
I'll just become a bunny.
Yes, you'll just become a bunny.
I am bunny. I am bunny. I'll grow ears.
Apparently I broke Katie. She's now hysterical, so I'll see you guys next time.
I don't know anymore.
Oh my.